What's going on? YouTube, it's Chucker Kennedy. Today, I want to talk about the AT&T and Direct TV combined billing scam. Now, I've heard of a lot of people having the same issues when when AT&T advertised the whole, if you had, they merged together with DirecTV, and that if you had DirecTV, you could switch to AT&T and get unlimited data for free. Okay, so which sounds like a good idea. What's going on? Not a problem, man. I'm just going to talk real quick about my experience with the AT&T and DirecTV bundled combined bill package thing, and how much of a nightmare it's been for the last 7 months. First, I had DirecTV for, I don't know, let me say almost 2 years before I even had AT&T. What's up, Aaron? So I had AT&T for about, I had DirecTV for about 2 years before I even had AT&T. Okay, no problems, paid on time, paid the right amount. It was auto paid straight out of the account. Okay, so in January of this year, I switched from Verizon because they didn't have an unlimited plan, and being a truck driver, I needed a lot of data, and it was expensive to keep buying a lot of data in order to be able to use the internet and stuff like that. So and sometimes I would receive like overage charges and stuff because Verizon at that time didn't have unlimited. So I switched to AT&T, right, for the unlimited bundled package with DirecTV. Okay, so I switched, like I said, in January to AT&T. All right, and around February they started combining my bill together with the DirecTV and AT&T together, all in one bill. One easy payment. You could pay it all in one bill, right? Well, they basically they said, well, it takes 2 or 3 business cycles for it to go through. As far as everything lines up, so it's all due at one time. On the same. So it takes a couple months for it to merge together all in one bill. So anyways, right, it's BS, man. So anyway, so I've been dealing with this whole situation since February, man, and I've called them every month. Like one month, my bill's like $500. They're charging me like twice, like $260 twice in 1 month, and I call them every time, and they take a bunch of money off, and they give me all these credits and all this and that, and I'm like, why are you giving me credits, man? I just want to know what my bill's gonna be, what it's supposed to be every month. What's it gonna be next month? Whatever. They're like, well, your bill's still in the transitioning phase to the combined bundle, right? I'm like, okay, whatever. So I was dealing with that for a couple months. I gave it a couple months, but what I'm saying is that I would call like every month when it was my time to pay my bill, because it'd be like crazy different than the month before. And I'm like, hey, why is my bill different? Why is it $100 different like each month? They're like, well, this was prorated that month, and then it was prorated, and then we had to line the dates up for the due dates. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm like, so when is it going to be, when's it going to be combined bundle? You offered me this package, and I didn't ask for it. You offered it to me as if it was going to be more convenient and just be better in my life. And as a truck driver, anything that can be more convenient to you, pay your one bill. You pay one bill that pays multiple things. That simplifies your life and makes it easier out on the road. So anyways, a couple months went by, and I'm paying my bill on the app, for AT&T, and anyway, so but AT&T was getting their money, but DirecTV wasn't never getting their money. So I'd have to call, DirecTV, once they and they would tell me that I owed them, like, I'm 2 months behind on the DirecTV bill. I'm like, okay, well that's odd, because last month when I talked to the people on the phone, they said this new bill coming out is going to be combined. You're not going to have nothing to worry about. It's going to be all your bills So when I paid the combined bill on the app, I'm assuming that's all the bills. I even call AT&T and say, hey, is my bill combined? And they're like, yes, your bill is combined. And I say, well, how much money do I owe you on my DirecTV bill? AT&T says you owe $0. You have a zero balance. I'm like, okay, well, why is DirecTV telling me that I owe them, 2 months worth, that they haven't gotten? I'm 2 months behind on my DirecTV bill, and you're telling me and AT&T's telling me, that I don't owe DirecTV any money when they're supposed to be merged together as one company, and I'm like, well, this change and that change on your account. I'm like, I didn't make any changes. Y'all offered me credits that changed my account. I didn't ask for the credits. I wanted to know how much my bill was supposed to be each month, because it's always different. And I wanted to know if my DirecTV bill was merged together on my AT&T bill as a one combined bill, like you say it is. They kept giving me the runaround, and this is the reason why it hasn't done that. Oh, and then they kind of like blaming it on me. Like I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just the customer trying to make my life easier with a package that you offered me. I didn't ask for the package. You offered it to me because I was a DirecTV subscriber. I had DirecTV service, TV, and I'm like, this has been nothing less than a huge nightmare that's gone on for 7 months. And so yesterday, I received, my fiance opened a bill for DirecTV, and it said I owed them 2 months behind again. And I'm like, this is absolutely freaking ridiculous. So I call AT&T. I talked to a dude named, let me see, I wrote it down. I talked to a dude named Clark Ravons or something like his name was, and Ravones or something. And the first thing I asked him is, hey, I'm calling to figure out, I got questions on my combined bill. He's like, all right, yep, I see your combined bill here. You got the AT&T and you got the DirecTV service combined. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I know I do, right? So I'm like, well, how much do I owe? How much do I owe DirecTV? And he says, you owe them $0. $0, they say. My app says I owe them $0, and the customer service rep says I owe them $0. It's the first thing they say. Within the first 2 minutes of the conversation, they say I have a combined bill and that I owe DirecTV $0. That I paid them both when I make my payments, right? And but I'm like, okay, well, why is DirecTV sending me another bill saying that I owe them $200 and I have a late fee involved because they haven't received their money? But you're telling me that we have a combined bill and that your system's saying that I don't owe DirecTV any money. So something's wrong here. What's going on? This has been going on for 7 months. You know what I mean? And I'm like, look, I've stuck around through this whole mess. I've gave you opportunities to correct this. You know what I mean? You keep giving me the runaround. You keep telling me that, oh, 2 or 3 months. Well, it's been 7 months. You know what I mean? It's been a nightmare. It's been 7 months. I said, what's it gonna be? 2 or 3 months every freaking time I call in? So what, am I gonna wait 2 years for you to get it right? Is it fine? So I said, it's gonna be, so you're gonna tell me I gotta wait up to 90 days for you to get my billing corrected when it's already been 7 months. You know what I mean? So I gotta wait 90 more days. I said, how about this? I said, well, in 90 days, I'll make a payment in 90 days once you get it corrected. I'm not gonna make a payment every month for you to finally get it right. 3 months? So it's been 7 months, 8, 9, 10 months down the road. You're gonna get it right on the 10th month, and you want me to still make your payments, but and you're telling me that I have a combined bill, and you're telling me that I owe DirecTV no money, but DirecTV is saying that I owe them money and they're not getting their money. See, AT&T is getting their portion of the money, but they're not giving DirecTV the portion of their money. So I'm like, look, I said, something's wrong here. This ain't happening. Something, I'm through with this. I'm through with waiting and hearing y'all tell me that it's going to be fine in a couple months and this and that and whatever. So I talked on customer service yesterday for probably 3 or 4 hours. no joke, between DirecTV, AT&T, and then they transferred me to the Uverse side, and then they got this other customer service side, and they just kept transferring me. Finally, they sent me to like, I'm like, dude, look, I need to talk to someone that's higher up that can explain to me what is going on here, because they're all like, well, I think it's this and I think it's that, and I'm like, you know what? On my job, I can't think that I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I can't think, oh, I think I can stop without hitting that car. I think I can. I don't know, but I think I can stop. I gotta know that I'm able to stop. You know what I mean? So like, what about your job do you have to know? And you're just telling me what you're guessing, you're telling me you're thinking. Like, what do you know is going on? Tell me facts about why my bill is not combined yet, when you're telling me it's combined, and you're telling me that I owe $0, but when in all actuality, DirecTV has not gotten their payments, and they say I'm 2 months behind. Like, what's going on here? You know, what kind of business works like that? What kind of business do you call up and ask them, hey, do I owe you any money? And you say, no, you owe $0, but then you owe them 2 months behind. Who does that? That doesn't make any sense to me. And they transferred me all over the place, and I ended up talking to this one person. I don't remember her name, but she was not very nice. Anyway, it was like a loyalty customer service rep or whatever, I guess, for like if you're going to cancel your service or whatever. They escalated my call as like I was an escalated like case or whatever, like, because I kept, I'm asking for answers and they're not giving me answers, and the person that I'm talking to can't give me answers. Like, well, maybe I can transfer you to this person who can give you an answer. I'm like, what the freak's going on here, man? Like, I just want to know what my bill is going to be every month. I want to know that when you tell me that I have a combined bill, that it's actually combined and I'm paying both things on what you offered me. You offered me this service, you offered me this billing plan, and it's been nothing but a nightmare. You act like it was going to be a good thing, and I come to find out, I'm watching the news or YouTube videos about it, and there's like tens of thousands of subscribers that have the same issues. It's been on local news in my area, Channel 6 News. It's a problem, and they keep getting the same answers, the runaround. They even told me a couple I don't know, probably around April, that I said that I didn't want my bill to be combined anymore. I said, what are you talking? You just told me my bill is combined. So, so the first thing I call every time, hey, what's going on? I got questions about my combined bill, I'm trying to figure out how much money I owe for DirecTV. Or before I make a payment, I'll call and say, hey, does this include all of my bill? Does this include even my DirecTV bill too? If I make this payment, does this include all of everything, all of my services with AT&T and DirecTV? And they say yes. And I make the payment, but then it doesn't include DirecTV still. So I'm like, dude, I don't know why I'm sitting here dealing with this kind of crap when there's so many other possibilities for me to go to, and then so one of the last ladies I talked to told me that the reason why my bill hasn't been combined was, well, she looked into it or whatever, and she said the reason my bill may be not being combined is that my last name was spelled wrong on the DirecTV side. I said, you mean to tell me, like, it was one letter spelled, they misspelled it or something, I don't know. Like, they had one N instead of two. And, like, what are you talking, like, what? I said, you need to tell me that you go off of my name more than you go off of my social security number and my account number. You mean to tell me that I'm a name in your system and not a number? That's ridiculous. I said, you sure we're taking my payments with my last name spelled wrong? What does that got to do with my bill being combined? You're one company. She said, well, it was a system error or a system problem where they're not communicating to one another, to where, the system's not showing the correct information. I said, okay, well, if a company has a system problem or a system error, right? And the customer is getting a combined bill. It says combined bill, and the customer is paying the combined bill. And then the customer calls the company and say, hey, does this amount cover my combined bill of all my service with DirecTV, with AT&T? Is it all that I owe you for this month? And they say yes. And then you make a payment. And then you ask them, do I owe you any more money this month? And they say no. Right? They say you don't owe me any more money. And then you get a bill And then they try to say, oh, your last name was spelled wrong actually for the last 7 months. Or no, for DirecTV. I've had DirecTV for 2.5 years now. And they try to tell me your name was spelled wrong for 2.5 years. And that is why your account hasn't been combined all the way. I'm like, I have the app, right? The app told me step 1 complete of combined bill. Step 2 complete. Step 3 complete. Your bill has now been combined, okay? That combined process said it was combined and over with in like April. Okay, it's now what? September. April, September. So April, May, June, July, August, September. 5 months later, they're still telling me that it's not combined, man. And I'm losing my mind with it. And I'm tired of it. I'm so sick and tired of it. It's a complete nightmare. So I would suggest any of you all that have DirecTV or AT&T, do not go to AT&T. Well, you don't have to anymore because Verizon has unlimited plan and stuff like that. Like Sprint had unlimited for a long time, but everybody knows Sprint's not very good. They're pretty horrible. I've had them for like 5 years before, and they're just not very good service, especially for a truck driver all over the place. So, AT&T and Verizon usually the best service-wise, and you kind of got to have that being a truck driver if you want to have good service. But so now I'm like, and I moved. I bought me a new house and stuff, and I live in the city and stuff. See, I used to live in the country, right? I used to live in the country where it wasn't really, you couldn't get like high-speed internet, right? You couldn't get like Verizon as a cable provider. You had to get like Dish Network or DirecTV or something like that. You couldn't get like Xfinity or Comcast or whatever. You couldn't get something like that out there, right? So I bought my house at the end of June this year, right? So now I live in the city. There's so many more options, right? I don't have to go through this. You know what I mean? I don't have to deal with this. But DirecTV does have this app or whatever where you can watch videos and live stream movies and stuff like that. So I was like, cool, when I'm in a sleeper, you know what I'm saying? I can like chill and kind of like use my phone to watch videos and stuff, out on the road. You know what I mean? So it's actually worked pretty cool. But I'm like, the billing is an absolute freaking nightmare. And you're telling me that it's my fault because my name was spelled wrong for 2.5 years. Like, you're absolutely out of your mind if you think I'm going to believe that. That's absolutely. And then they try to say, well, you moved to a new address, right? And that address is why it's not combined too. I said, I didn't mean to cuss right there, but I said that is some BS too, because I didn't even cancel my services. I didn't even put a hold on my services with DirecTV. I actually didn't get DirecTV installed at my new home until September 2nd. September 2nd. I said, so you had from February till September 2nd of the same information, same address with the DirecTV, because I had the DirecTV service where I was lived at before, and I moved that service to my new address. So I'm like, so you had the same addresses, the same everything for 6.5 months, and you still didn't get it right. Still. I said, all I want to do is have what you offered me and for it to work properly. That's it. I just want to have my combined bill that you say is combined actually be combined. That's all I want. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want a discount. I don't want a credit. I don't want you to guess what's going on or think what's going on. I want you to just get it right. And if you make a mistake as a company and it's your fault or your system's fault where it's not communicating, and the customer thinks that the last 2 months they made payments that were combined bill, that he doesn't owe the DirecTV any more money, then that person isn't budgeting money to cover the money for a DirecTV bill that the company was saying was paid in the combined bill. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be paying late fees and back pay on a service when I was told, and I asked the question even yesterday morning, how much do I owe DirecTV? And they say $0. I'm confused. What kind of business is that? So I'm through with it. I'm like, you know what? I get home. I'm going home today after this load. There's another freaking truck backed up, getting unloaded. So I'm waiting. You know what I'm saying? So I would probably already been in and out of there if I was able to get in first, but they got here before me. So I'm getting ready to go home right after this. I'm actually off tomorrow. So so I'm gonna get home today. Hopefully I get home soon, and I'm done with it. They're supposed to call me today. the customer service, AT&T, Direct TV, I don't know who the hell is going to call me. They're the same damn thing when I talk to them, but then they're different when it comes to why I owe Direct TV money. Then they're different. You know, it's the same, but then, oh, well, it's different. And I'm like, you're the same shit. You're the same company. You merged to one. You're under construction, merging to one. Okay, I understand there's two huge companies merging together, and it takes a little time. But that is not the customer's fault. That is your company's fault. If your company is under construction and things aren't going well, your company is going to lose money. Whether it's by having upset customers to where the system makes an error and the company has to back it and eat it and correct the problem to keep the customer happy, then that's what the company has to do. Either that or the company loses thousands of subscribers. Either way, the company's going to lose money. But it's going to hurt the customer a lot more to fork over to, you know, if actually I owe my phone bill $234. That's how much I pay for my phones. $234 every month. That's how much I pay just from the phone. Okay? And the Direct TV is like $100. Okay? So they're telling me, so I owe $234. Actually, I think it's on the 22nd. I owe $234 to my phones, right? And then they're trying to back pay, or making me pay Direct TV back from 2 months ago on top of that. So that's $429. And I'm like, oh no, that's not happening. I said, that ain't happening at all. You told me that for these past bills that I've paid were the amount that I needed to pay for my combined bill, and that I owed nobody any money. So you're not going to tell me 2 months later that I'm behind and that I need to pay $200 more to a Direct TV that wasn't being paid. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. That is not it. I made my payment that you said included everything. You ensured me that it included everything. I asked specific questions on the phone. They got my recordings they say they record you, right? Well, where's the recordings? Go back and listen to it. Listen to what your customer service reps tell me. You know? Listen to what I'm dealing with. Listen to the thousands of other customers that are dealing with the same thing. Listen to the customers that want to be your customer, but they can't deal with the billing situation. They can't. It's totally, in my opinion, it's fraud. It's scammed. It's BS. You know, you blame the fact that his last name's been spelled wrong for 2.5 years in your system. I didn't type my name in that system. I didn't, spell my name wrong in your system for 2.5 years. It sure didn't stop you from getting paid for 2 years straight until I went on the bundle package, until I went on the combined bill package, is when DirecTV started getting problems with getting their money. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? If I got a 2-year history of paying DirecTV on time every single month, the right amount, and then the time where it gets to the bundle package or the bundling of the services together on one bill is when the problem started to arise with the DirecTV not getting their money, right? So how is that my fault? That's your fault. That's you offered a service that you weren't ready to offer yet. You offered a service that your systems weren't able to communicate properly, efficiently, consistently enough to handle that offer. That's not my fault. That's bad business. That's bad service. You weren't ready for that. That's not my fault. And I refuse to pay the consequence for something that they did wrong. Their system or whoever did wrong. I called and I talked to numerous customer service reps that gave me false information about my account and how much money I owed. Okay? I paid what they said that I owed every month on time. Now they were trying to tell me that I owe 2 months worth of DirecTV bill. I'm 2 months behind. I paid. Was my combined bill paid? Did you receive my combined bill money? You did. So I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm through with it. I'm gonna get home today. I plan to freaking take these freaking phones. I'm using my damn phone. I didn't know where it was, but I'm done with them. I got 2 phones. They're gone. I got DirecTV. I just got it installed in my house. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? It's gone. I said DirecTV. I asked DirecTV. I said, if you can do this right, I'll keep DirecTV and I'll get rid of AT&T. I said, because you partnered with a company that's bad business. I said I didn't have a problem with you, DirecTV, when I wasn't associated with AT&T also. I said me and you were fine. We were on good terms, you know. And then you brought in this other party that has bad business, and now DirecTV is going to suffer a direct consequence for their association with a bad business company as an AT&T, which they're merged into one. I don't know the name, but when I call them up, I either called AT&T or DirecTV. That's how they answer the phone. I said, what side are you? Oh, I'm DirecTV side. Okay, well then, you're the one I need to talk to. You know, because AT&T, they don't want to take any liability, they don't want to take any responsibility. They just want to tell me there was a system error, a system problem, a communication problem, and they want me to suffer the consequence 2 months later. No, that ain't how it works. No. If a company has a problem and it's the company's fault, then the company should be held liable for the consequences of that problem. If I have a problem, if I go out and get a speeding ticket, if I get in an accident, if I rob a bank, I gotta pay a consequence for that. Right? If I don't pay my bill, I gotta pay a consequence for that. You know, they cut off my service, right? They're not gonna give me any leeway. Right? You know what I mean? They're not gonna let me go 90 days without paying my bills before they cut my service off. But they want to go 7 months. They want to go 7 months. They want to go 3 more months. So 10 months. They want me to deal with this and say it's going to be okay in 10 months. We're going to get it right 10 months later. That's ridiculous, man. I'm so through with it. I'm through with it, man. I'm so through with it. And man, I just wanted y'all to hear it. I don't know if any of y'all had the same issues or you know anybody that's had the same issues, but this is absolutely the worst billing experience that I've ever experienced. Ever. With any other company. It's the absolute worst. And the real big problem is that I call up and I get no answers. None. They are thinking and they're guessing. Thinking and guessing what's wrong. No one knows. No one knows, man. Like, why is it not combined? Why are you telling me it's combined when it's not combined? Oh, your name's spelled wrong. That's your fault. That's your fault, customer, that your last name is spelled wrong. That's why. That's some horse shit if I ever heard some. Your name is spelled wrong. So you go off of my name to pay my bill. You don't go off of the social security number and account number. You go off my name. That's fucking hilarious. And that's bullshit. And you're not gonna pull that over my eyes to try to make me feel like it's my fault and that I'm gonna pay you the money that you messed up and told me how much I didn't owe that. Like, nah, no sir. I said, you know, that ain't gonna happen. You're gonna take responsibility. You're gonna do the right thing. It's not about the money. It's about the principle. It's about doing people right. When you mess up, own up to the mistake, correct the mistake, and don't do it again. That's what we gotta do as people, and that's what they should have to do as a company. And if they can't do that as a company, which I gave them 7 months of dealing with this nightmare, and they want me to give them 3 more. Well, guess what? This nightmare is over. I'm done with the nightmare. You can keep the nightmare for these other people. When they get sick and tired of it, they're gonna leave too. DirecTV, AT&T bundle combined bill is an absolute scam. Do not do it. It'd be the worst decision you ever made as far as a cell phone company and a TV package bundle deal in your life. Don't ever do it. Tell everybody you know to not do it. Go to Xfinity, go to Verizon, go to Comcast, go to freaking Cox Cable, go whatever else you can do besides these people. It's horrible. Trust me. Stay away from them. They will blame you. They will take no responsibility. And they'll guess and they'll think what's going on. And they won't actually give you facts. And they won't actually tell you why this is going on. They have no idea. They're guessing. They're thinking. They don't know their job. And if they do know their job, they don't take any responsibility. They want to rub it off on you, the customer. They want to tell you, the customer, that it's your fault that their system or their system had an error. Their system had a communication problem. They want to tell you that that's your problem as a customer. They don't want to take any responsibility. There's way too many options out here for a customer to deal with that. And I'm sick and tired of it. And I've had enough. And I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Unless I get an update. And they do something right. They do the right thing. Then maybe we can talk. But if I get home before they call me, and I go to Verizon, and I give them my phones, I just hand it to them. They pay the cancellation fee. They take my phones, they give me new phones. I just walk out with new phones, and I'm done with AT&T. I'm done. It's so easy. It's so easy. I'm not worried about my credit. I just bought a house. I got a brand new car. I ain't worried about it. I'm not buying a new house anytime soon. I'm not buying a new car anytime soon. It's your fault. You take responsibility. You pay the consequences. Keep your customers happy. Don't blame your customer for your mistake. Take responsibility with your $4 billion company and do the right thing. It's going to hurt the customers a lot more to come up with a couple $100 on your air than it will for you to cover $200 on your $4-5 billion company. I'm Trucker Kennedy. That's my take on the AT&T and the DirecTV combined bundle package bullshit. Stay away from it. Tell other people. Spread this word. They need to hear it. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this customer will be a customer no more. And we'll deal with that no more. Trucker Kennedy, I'm checking out. I got work to do. I can't deal with these people no more. If you have the same problem, or you know anybody with the problem, leave a comment. Tell me your story. I want to hear it. Other people need to hear these problems. They need to hear that this isn't an isolated incident. This is going on all over the country with thousands and thousands of people with the same issues. It needs to be heard. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Trucker Kennedy. Later.